Alright, and welcome back to another video. As you can see, I got the Blazer back into the shop, and I got some big plans for this video. One of the big major upgrades is this fuel cell that in the last video you saw that my neighbor helped me build. Or he built it. I didn't really help too much, but huge thanks to him. He actually has a YouTube channel. If you guys want to go check that out, there will be a link in the description. He's been building a little Triumph car. Super cool stuff. He's a super cool guy, so go check him out. Other than the fuel cell, this whole back end of this Blazer is going to get redone. I never really liked how it looked. I mean, it's okay, but the whole back is just straight down, and then there's a bumper that's also just flat. And I don't really like the look of it. It's not really, I don't hit it very often. I have hit it, but it's a bumper, so that's kind of what it's built for. But I really want to take this and angle it in and basically cut off this whole section here. And as you can see, I never finished this because I kind of knew I wanted to do something different. So in today's video, that's going to happen. I don't know exactly what the plan is quite yet, but I think I'm going to take this rear bumper, I think I'm going to keep it and just shift it forward about a foot and then angle back to it. I don't really know how to explain it, so I'm just going to have to show you guys. But the first thing I got to do is get this fuel tank out of here and get all the gas out so I don't blow myself up, because not a lot of people know this unless you're a really close friend. This Blazer, when I very first got it, I was changing a fuel pump in it and I blew up the fuel tank and got second, third degree burns all the way up both arms, my neck. It was a really bad thing. So I don't want a remake of that, so I'm going to make sure to get the fuel tank out and get it outside where no sparks are going to reach it. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Alright, so as you can see, I got the tailgate off, got the old fuel tank out, I got the new fuel cell, it just set in here for mock-up purposes. I got all the fuel lines disconnected and blocked off, all the fuel's gone, so no chances of anything catching on fire, hopefully. Unless I set the carpet on fire, which there's not much of it left. But I think I'm ready to start cutting. So first thing I'm going to do is just cut the back of the frame off, get rid of this, get rid of all this stuff here, because none of that is going to be needed. So I'm just going to continue this line right here all the way across, cut it all the way off here. I'm going to keep these because these are the shock mounts, so I'm going to tie everything into these as well. That's a good spot. I like where the shocks are mounted, it works, so I'm not going to change that. And yeah, just a bunch of cutting to do. So I'm going to start cutting this stuff off, and hopefully I can get a better idea of what I'm doing so I can show it to you guys, because right now I'm kind of just going in blind. I have a picture in my head, I just gotta make that picture happen here. So not much of a plan as you can tell, but I'm just gonna start cutting. I mean, that's all I can really do right now, so hope for the best. Alright, so I got the tailgate kind of thrown on there. Now you might be able to kind of see what I'm going for here. It's way more tucked in. Same aesthetic from the rear, really. Doesn't really look any different from the rear, except for it's missing the bumper, which is right there on the ground. But essentially, instead of this coming down straight, it kicks in like that. It gets it out of the way of rocks. It's very unlikely to get hit now, which is awesome. Like I said before, I never really had a problem hitting the rear bumper, but I have hit it, and you know, it doesn't matter. But the bumper being a little bit more tucked in like this, it's just going to help a lot with my departure. And I've had like 1 or 2 spots where I got into a spot and I couldn't back up because my rear bumper was hitting. So that's kind of my thought process behind tucking it in like this, is I'll be able to, you know, back over rocks just as well as I can drive over them forward. So I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out. I don't know if it's exactly what I had in my mind, but it's getting somewhere. But I really gotta go get some food. But before I leave to go get food, I want to fill this tank with water because it hasn't been water tested. So I'm gonna pull it outside, fill it with water, and then while I'm gone getting food, it'll be sitting there with water in it and see if it has any leaks. All right, and right there's a tiny little leak, so I circled it. And right under here, there's one more leak, so I circled that one. So in the whole tank, there's 2 like tiny pinhole leaks. So that's pretty dang impressive to only have 2 like super small leaks. Wait, throughout the entire tank, that's not gonna lie, I was expecting more, but I know Joe, he's a really good welder, and that just shows it right there. So I'm gonna take this back over to him. He's just gonna tack those 2 little holes, patch them up, and then this thing will be good to go. So those are the 2 I can see. This thing is chock full of water, and so right now I'm gonna go get some food, come back, and then look at it again and see if any more develop or if it's just the 2. But I'm gonna go get some food. Alright, so I just brought this fuel cell over to Joe and just took maybe a minute to patch those 2 holes. When you're doing this much welding, little pinholes like that are inevitable. They're gonna happen, okay? You're gonna have at least one. So I was actually pretty surprised it only had 2. So he's a super good welder, and he's actually got a YouTube channel of his own. He's building this cool Triumph. He's got a few videos up. If you want to go check it out, there'll be a link in the description. Make sure you go check him out. He's also got an Instagram you can go check out. It'll all be in the description. He helped me out, so go help him out and show him some support. Alright, so I just got back from lunch, and the fuel tank only has the 2 pinholes, so that's awesome. Take it over to Joe's later tonight and get those patched up real quick. So I'm back to working on the back of this, and I got this bumper kind of prepped out and the frame rails prepped out, and my brother just got home from work, so he's actually going to help tack this thing into place real quick, and then we can kind of get a rough idea of what this is going to look like. It's kind of close to the picture I had in my mind, but it's also way different, so hopefully it looks cool. I don't know. I'm a lot happier with the departure angle though, so that'll be cool. Even I don't know if it'll have any actual benefits, but hopefully it at least looks cool. What do you think?
Looks good. I like it.
Sweet. Let's get this tacked into place. Cool. Alright. want to hold it or tack it?
What do you want me to do?
Well, you're holding it, so I guess you're holding it. What?
It's a hell of a tack.
It's a hell of a bumper. So it's higher up than it was and it's further in. Alright, so we got it tacked on. I'm pretty happy with how it looks actually. If you look at it over here, you can definitely tell the tire pokes out a lot more now past the bumper, and then it angles out. And then did some marks here and a couple places I need to cut. I think I got kind of a cool idea because this bumper kind of this bumper is kind of look like a skeleton with all these tubes going through it. So I wanted to continue that on the back and to finish off this edge here. So I'm going to continue a tube off of this up and then a straight tube coming out, and maybe I'll put like a little tail light or something in the end of it, or just nothing. But I think that'll look cool having the tube going this way, going down, and then I'll run a tube across as well. That'll go right behind this panel. So if I do hit this on a rock right here, it'll have a tube behind it that'll tie into the rest of the cage and should be really strong, and it'll protect the gas tank as well, which is another benefit of that. So I think that's a pretty good plan. Like I said before, I don't have much of a plan going into this. I'm just kind of coming up with it as I go. So I'm gonna cut this stuff out that I marked, and hopefully I get something kind of close to cool. But more cutting. So you do CAD, cardboard aided design. Quickest way to get what you want. Obviously, when I transfer this over to a piece of steel, I'll make these lines straight, but this gives me a really good reference, and it's fast, super cheap, and can do it as many times as I need to get it right. But this time, I think I got it first try. Super happy with that.
way.
All right, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to call this one here. I wanted to get more done, but I don't know where to go. I have a bunch of ideas on what to do, and not sure what the right one to do is. So I'm gonna give it a couple days and just think about options on what to do. The original plan, you know, keep tailgate. I was just gonna solid mount the tailgate and make it so I could open and close the window when I put it in the wintertime. I've been playing around with a couple ideas about not being able to put the window in. I think I could make it look a lot cooler, but then I lose the functionality of being able to put a window in and having a fully enclosed cab in the winter. So that option's kind of out. I think I cut this tailgate too soon and just kind of jumped the gun a little bit. So I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to start kind of, you know, start with a new day and see where it takes me. So in the next video, I'm going to be finishing up the back of this. Let me know if you guys have any ideas on what to do. I'll show you what I did today. I got these built up. Pretty happy with them. Actually, I'm really happy with how they turned out. Shocks still mount right there. That comes up really nicely, meets up with this. I'm really happy how this turned out. I'm gonna put a little running light in there on each side. I got this all fixed, shortened up. Got the bumper it's just tacked in right now, but it's all put in there. Tank's just sitting here. I also need to build a bracket or a mounting system for that. Yeah. I'll show you just real quick. I kind of originally wanted to get a bar going across right here, but I really don't like the look of the two parallel bars, you know. I just don't like it. I don't know why. So that's kind of out, but it would be behind the tailgate if I did do that, but it's not going to really add any structure. So yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm taking a break. I'm gonna call it here, like I said, and just finish this up in the next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next one.